Hey everyone, this is Rob,
And Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast on everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. So this week up on the Chalk-It, we have, of course, as always, our account progress and updates. And then we'll be moving right into the new client features update that just came out today. So we'll be talking about a few things they added and updated. Not a ton to go over, but it's okay because we have a ton of other stuff to go over that happened
Yeah.
earlier this week. And by that, we're talking about the Summer Summit.
Brr, brr, brr,
So
brr.
if you didn't catch it on Saturday, there was a ton of stuff that they talked about at the Summer Summit leading up to the next 6+ months of content that we're likely to be getting. So we'll be going over everything there, including Deadman mode, Group Iron, as well as raids.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we have a lot to go into. But before we go into any of that, of course, Michelle, how you doing?
Pretty good, I'd
Good.
say.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I guess I haven't really been working on too much this week, but I still feel like it's been a productive week because I've been doing more bossing. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Since last week I did deranged archaeologist to 50. I finished the easy combat achievements. I should start with that. I finished it like
GZ.
yeah. Guzz, guzz.
Guzz, guzz, guzz.
I think I finished it the day actually that the episode came out, the podcast episode. And so then I was starting on the medium and I've stopped that
Yeah.
for now because I was like, this is annoying.
You started it and we're like, wow, this is way more work than I anticipated.
Exactly, yeah. Mostly because the barrow ones kept annoying me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Did you ever figure those out? You gotta like freeze them, right?
yeah, but I never did it.
Oh, okay.
So I did like the deranged archaeologist 50 times. I probably did a couple other of the small ones, but then I was just like, all right, time to move on to something else.
Yeah, maybe come back eventually.
Exactly, yes. So then I was just moving on to doing like Slayer tasks for a second, and I got a Slayer task to Cave Kraken, which I've
Nice.
never done before.
Oh,
And
you
I
did a bunch of them, huh?
I did. I got 2 of the task actually, and I went and did the Kraken boss. So
Nice.
I got all but 1 of those combat achievements.
Oh, pretty cool.
Yeah, so the main ones were just like buy your own private instance and stay there for blah 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 kills. And I
Oh,
think
okay.
I got like 50, but there's one that's like 100, and I'm like, there's no way I can do that right now. Like, I need to get
You
higher
probably
magic.
could. You could probably like if you brought like ancients and just used the blitz or like blood blitz or something like that. I don't know exactly how.
Oh
That's
yeah,
just
if I
like my
use blood
first.
something to cure myself. It's just because I run out of food.
Yeah,
That's why.
I was like, that's my best guess is if you just use blood blitz. While obviously you're gonna be using like the trident, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like on
I could bring
whenever you
both.
need health, you could just bring ancients and just use that.
Oh, didn't think about that. That's a
Yeah.
good idea. Maybe next time I get the Slayer test, I'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to do, the achievements or whatever.
I do want to do it eventually. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a master one, so it's not exactly a priority.
Oh, really? That
But
doesn't seem that hard. That's so funny that some of the masters seem so easy.
well, until you just said that, I never even thought about using the blood spells.
Oh yeah, I always use the blood spells, like whenever I'm bursting and stuff like that too. It just makes the trips last so much longer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never really thought about it. I'll definitely try that out next time I get a Slayer test, probably for Krakens.
Yeah.
But it was cool because I had that, and then I had one random Slayer test, and then it was like Krakens again, and I was like, this is sick. I like this.
You really like the boss, huh?
Yeah, I do. Because
Yeah.
it's easy. I mean, okay, to be fair, it's easy because I have fairly high hit points in magic.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, you can't get it until you're really high Slayer, so probably most people that get it are in like nearly
Mhm.
your position, anyways.
yeah. So you don't pray or anything. There's no special mechanics. You literally just hit it and eat. And that's why I'm saying it's easy for me because I have like 96 hit points.
Yeah.
If you had lower hit points, it would be annoying.
Okay.
You'd be eating all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, for me, it's pretty cool. I just eat like 1 or 2 foods every time. And it also drops sharks and it drops edible seaweed. So you can
Oh,
save for
really?
all. Yeah, it's
Edible
really handy.
seaweed, that's hilarious.
Yeah, the edible seaweed hits or heals for like 4, but it drops
okay.
like 5 of them. So
Oh, that's free health, I guess.
yeah, those don't drop too often though. So it's kind of annoying whenever you're getting low and you're like, all right, I could use those sharks. You could use that seaweed, and then it just
Yeah.
drops like pirate boots over and over. But yeah, I really liked doing that boss. I made a little bit of gold from it too. So I killed 221 and I made 4.1 mil.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. It's not definitely not like a moneymaker, which I think is why most people say to skip it. But
Really? I think it's a moneymaker
yeah,
compared to all the other tasks I do.
I think on all the task guides it says for points you should skip it. But
Oh, yeah, I can see
obviously
that.
there's a chance to get the tentacle and the pet, so
That's why I'm there. I love the
yeah.
pet.
Yeah, the pet looks funny.
He's so cute.
I like all of his little tentacles coming up.
He's like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
And other than that, I was just doing other Slayer tasks. I was actually falling asleep last night while streaming because I was doing like a Turoth task. The
Oh
one's on
yeah.
Lunar Isle.
That's definitely not Turos.
What is it called?
Oh,
Sequoias.
Yeah, Sequoias.
Sorry, I
like,
get them
Turos in the
confused. I get them
Slayer cave.
confused. Turos are actually okay.
Yeah, Turos make
Sequoias
money.
are boring and you don't make any money. You just lose
And you
money.
can't really pray like super efficiently
Yeah, you
against
can only
them.
pray for like half their attacks.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like literally falling asleep on stream basically. I felt so bad. I slept like 10 hours last night because I was like, I need to get my life under control. I've been so tired lately. Yesterday, Robert was streaming and he turned around and had fallen asleep on a yoga mat while stretching.
Yeah.
It was really ridiculous. So, yeah. After doing that though, I did some Warcath for a Blue Dragon task and that woke me up a bit, but I'm not going to do my entire Blue Dragon task
Yeah, it takes a
there
long
because it would
time.
take me 17 years.
Yeah, it takes a little bit.
Yeah, my task was for like 150 and I did like 6 Warcath and it took me like 30 minutes. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, I think we're done here.
That would take a lot of. I think that's like 20 or that's like 35 trips or something like that.
Holy moly. Yeah, I was only doing 3 per trip. And it sucks because I only took 2 trips there. And both the times, Vorkath was like 30 health away from dying for the 4th kill, but I was like 15 health away from dying, so I was like, I guess I'll leave.
Oh yeah, that sucks. I hate that because then usually I won't start the kill unless I have 3 food because I can usually get through a kill with 3 food.
I had like 5 foods.
Oh yeah.
That's why I was like confident going.
I mean, if
into
I get,
it. But like I said, I was like falling asleep before.
If you get unlucky, then 5 foods is probably like enough. But I don't know. I have done it quite a bit, so maybe that's why.
Oh yeah, you've done like 900.
And also,
right?
you don't Wooks walk or anything like that, so you're not getting the extra damage.
I don't. Whenever I was doing the poison thing, I tried shooting it while I was walking, and I got hit for 30, and I was like, this is not a good time for me to try Wooks walking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because it feels like there's never a good time, but then you'll never like learn how to do it.
Me being tired and streaming, I was like, this is definitely not a good time.
It's eventually like I've gotten to the point where like Wooks walking, I don't do like the most efficient. I think like the 3 tile Wooks walk is the most efficient. I do like a 4 tile, I call it like a lazy walk because it's a lot easier in my opinion, but you get like a couple less hits. But once you like have done it enough, it becomes like second nature. Like, and you get a lot of damage. I mean, you get like an extra like 50 to 100 damage each.
Yeah, I probably would have gotten those
time.
4th kills if I knew how to do it. I definitely would have gotten that 4th kill.
Yeah, like once you get it down, 5 and 6 kill trips are pretty common.
Yeah, as it is now, I'm like 3. I think the first one might have even been 2. I don't know.
No, yeah, that's pretty normal.
Yeah, it wasn't going so great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did that. I also, like I said, I was doing barrows a bit. What else did I do? I was trying to do more bosses. I did Obor and Briofita for the easy combats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I've just been trying to do
just been bossing
a variety. Yeah. Some of them are like demi bosses, but I'll take that.
Yeah, some demi bosses.
Demi. I also did the Night at the Theater.
Again,
yes.
Redux.
I love the new version.
The new version.
It's actually great.
Yeah, the new version's way better.
Yeah, it was harder than I thought. I was like, I'm gonna do this without the quest guide, and then thank God I looked up the quest guide. I was just wasting my life away.
I think we both started without the quest guide, and then we got to the same point, and we're like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna pull up the quest guide.
Whenever
which is
you're
like,
at the eggs.
Yeah, when you get to the spider eggs.
Oh my gosh! If any of you have done it yet, if not, you probably only remember me saying this. I didn't notice that skeleton until I read about it, and then I moved my camera, and I was like, all right. You guys couldn't have put this somewhere else.
I noticed it, but I didn't think it was like significant.
You thought it was just decoration, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. And so I wasted quite a bit of time on that part. But then the rest of it was easy.
I teleported there like 4 times because I was like gonna go grab a knife. Then I went to grab an axe. Then I went to go grab like a sword. And then I was literally gonna go teleport and buy like runes because I was like, oh, I must have to use magic. And then I looked it up and was like, Oh.
Yeah, it's like not even complicated enough that you need like a video guide or anything like that. But shouts out to Slayer Music. He actually already has a guide on it. So
Oh
if
yeah,
you are
I
still,
just read about it on Wiki.
yeah, if you're still struggling with it and you really need help, then you can like check out his video. But yeah, I just looked at the wiki. They have like a quick guide and it shows you like 7 steps on how to complete the quest, and that's pretty much all you needed.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. One thing about the quest though is you do have to fight his Spore, which I've killed like 200 something times, so it's like I'm used to it.
Yeah,
But if
same.
you've never done it before, look up a guide. Maybe look up our guide that I made showing 3 different ways of killing it. I don't know. It's a pretty good guide.
Yeah, your guide's pretty good. If you're going for fastest times, then you might look up
It
like
was
a
not the
special guide for
fastest
that.
guide. I was just showing the ways of doing it with melee, magic, and ranged.
Yeah, so if you happen to be a pure, then maybe her guide will help you.
Hey, every one of our listeners is a pure, it turns out.
Yeah, it turns out. Actually, a lot of people that I talk to are pures, so it's kind of
Oh,
funny.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, just been streaming a lot. Usually not falling asleep during stream.
Usually,
I was
yeah.
just so tired yesterday for absolutely no reason.
Yeah. Only I fall
And-
asleep on stream usually.
Yeah, that was funny. Talking about our 24-hour stream, which I watched back the next day, and he was like, I don't know what was happening to you.
I was tired.
He was
dude.
clicking stuff and he's like, all right. And then his eyes would close for like 3 seconds. And I'd be like, is he okay?
Dude, I was tired. What can I say?
So go look at twitch.tv/Bunebape. Go back and watch the 18-hour stream and watch the end because he was literally falling asleep, like
Yeah.
talking to himself, mumbling. It
I
was great.
pretty tired.
It was kind of sad watching. I was like, oh, I wish I didn't leave you alone.
Yeah.
Oh my
Did
gosh.
you do anything else or
I'm
just
work-
bosses?
One more thing. I'm working on a video right now.
Oh yeah.
A Majorina 2 guide, which Mandy requested. Sorry, it took like 5 months.
Yeah, like literally forever ago.
And just like the other quest guides I've done before, it's a little more of a walkthrough than a
Yeah,
full
I
guide.
don't think you really read through it that much.
I didn't because I wanted it to be like my live reactions.
Oh, then
which,
it's not really a guide, is it?
well, maybe I'll read through the rest before I continue.
I know you're all like, oh, I guess. Yeah, I know a lot of guys are like, oh, this is what you're gonna need. You should expect this. You're like, I don't know anything. I'm just gonna show you, and you're gonna have to watch this entire video to know how to do this quest.
Oh, right. I haven't even really started the quest. I'm doing the requirements, but I'll change it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Maybe I'll just cut out the requirement parts and start over.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll be like, I got these requirements years ago. Now
Years.
let's go.
Oh, I've had this for millennia.
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna redesign my video idea now.
All right, cool. probably for the best.
I read a little bit, but then immediately when I got there, I was like, where the heck is this guy I need to buy these staffs from? And
Oh,
then you have
yeah.
to walk through like a water pool. I would have
Yeah,
never
it's a
guessed that.
teleporter.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, and you have to talk to him 3 times to get, or you have to not 3 times,
Trade
but you
him
have to, trade
yeah.
him 3 times.
But anyway, how are you?
Oh, pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Just been bossing as well, just doing a ton of corrupted gauntlet.
What's your goal?
I want to do
Share with everyone?
oh yeah, so I have these crazy goals because
Because of course he does.
to be like completely frank and honest, we were talking about this yesterday on the stream, how like I was kind of getting burnt out, and like another
Uh-huh.
viewer that was watching me was talking about how they're kind of getting burnt out on RuneScape. And I know for me, whenever I come up with like really large goals, it kind of helps me like have a focus in the game.
And get the
'Cause,
passion going again.
Previously, like I wanted to get to like doing more end game content and like getting the quest cape. So I got the quest cape. I have like more or less gotten to end game content.
I think Corrupted's endgame.
Yeah, and also shouts out to King Kongor. That dude makes hilarious videos. If you ever need a guide that's not actually a guide, that is like also still kind of a guide at the same time, then you can check out his videos.
In case you didn't hear, the channel he just said was Bunebape.
Yeah, but it was hilarious because I thought in his video I had watched the morning after I had started the Corrupted Gauntlet challenge, where I'm planning on doing 1,000 Corrupted Gauntlet, and then like making a video about it. I know the video is not going to be the most relatable thing, but I need some money, and so I'm doing the
Gonna
Corrupted
be
Gauntlet.
the farthest from relatable.
Yeah, so it's funny though because I was watching King Kongor's video, and he's like talking about how it's funny once you get to like really end game like RuneScape stuff, like RuneScape moneymakers. It's really just TOB, Corrupted Gauntlet, and Nightmare, which
Yeah.
is pretty
Which was your
hilarious
second
because
goal?
yeah, I thought that was super relatable because yeah, my second goal is I wanted to do like 1,000 Nightmare after I finish the 1,000 Corrupted
You can't
Gauntlet.
just set a normal goal of doing like 1,000 or like 100. You're like,
No.
no, a million.
Because by 100, I don't know if I'll have any sick drops. By 1,000, I know I'll have like at least one
Or you'll
sick
be
drop.
extremely dry.
Yeah, extremely dry. Yeah, exactly. So,
That's Robert's nutty goal.
yeah, so I'm gonna be going through, and hopefully I'll be, good at the Corrupted Gauntlet by the end of this. Because right now I'm still,
If you're
still
not
kinda
at
hit or
1,000,
miss.
that would just be hilarious.
Yeah,
Still dying every other game.
It was a huge improvement though, because my first day I only got 2 kills, and I think I did like
He was very
10 or
discouraged once he got off.
I did like 10 or 12 attempts, and then only got like 2 kills, so it was just like really rough. And then I think I ended up shaking some of the rust off, and I was able to get like I think 10 KC out of like 18 attempts, so I was actually
Awesome.
positive for the day
Yeah.
yesterday.
And hopefully
And
today even better.
that doesn't seem like a lot, but doing 20 kills, it's like 10 minutes per kill, so that's actually kind of a long time.
There's hours.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing more though. I've been doing shorter streams, but I'm hopefully gonna start doing just like longer streams with just Corrupted Gauntlet forever. So if you are interested in the Corrupted Gauntlet or the regular Gauntlet, I'd highly recommend it and try it out because there's literally no downside to trying it. You don't lose anything except for, I guess, your time. But
Which is worth nothing.
exactly. So that's what I'm planning on doing, and then I'll take on the Nightmare, and actually probably only do the Nightmare once, and then I'll just go straight to Fasani after that.
Oh, you want to do 1,000 Fasani?
Yeah, just because it's the solo like hard mode version of it, so I figured.
And you can't do the Nightmare alone, so you might as well make it harder.
Yeah, exactly. So I might as well do it as hard as possible. Like I can barely do Corrupted Gauntlet, so might as well do 1,000 of that. Same methodology there. So
You're so crazy.
as soon as I do after this, as soon as I do one Nightmare, I'll probably go to Fasani and just like stay there the whole time.
You're so insane. I
But,
don't understand.
Yeah, that's about it. We also, as far as like video updates, we did have a video go out last week.
Red Chinchampas.
Yeah, about Red Chinchampas. That was pretty fun. I really like Hunter. Also, if you are interested in leveling up Hunter and you have like 66 Hunter, I'd recommend Chinchampas.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
went really well for you.
Yeah, I don't know what the requirements are for regular Chinchampas, but for Red Chinchampas, I think it's 66. I'm not entirely sure. I just did birdhouses all the way up until 66.
Yeah.
So I'm not too certain about that. But I'd highly recommend it. Chinchampas make a decent amount of money. Not as much as they used to, but...
And they're so cute.
Yeah, they are really cute. You have a chance at a really cool pet. Probably
Someone
one
at
of my favorite
Volcano
pets.
last week had the gold Chinchampa, and I kept zooming in on it. And
Yeah.
while I was streaming, I was like, look at its little tail.
The gold Chinchampa is the baby Chinchampa.
It's like the little Pikachu. It's so
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. But so I'd highly recommend that, or like Herbivore if you have 80. But yeah, I thought that video was pretty fun, and I actually really enjoyed it. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
looking forward to doing Hunter again in the future.
Yeah, and hopefully we could do my video for Majorina.
Yeah, maybe your video. I also have
You should take a break and do Fishing Trawler just to get that video out.
Yeah, maybe. I have another video that might be coming out soon on Sarachnis, so check out that if that comes out.
I did some Sarachnis too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Sarachnis was pretty fun. I think pretty much mostly people from our stream introduced us to that. So
100%, yes.
yeah, shouts out to everyone on the stream
Shouts out.
because neither of us had done Sarachnis, but everyone on the stream kept telling us that it was fun. So we ended up trying it. And it's actually
I think we both did it with other people too.
Yeah, we
Not
both-
even the same person.
yeah, we both started with other people that happened to be on the stream that wanted to do it, and it's really fun to do in a duo. It makes it really fast and pretty
Yeah.
enjoyable. Even solo though, I think it's pretty fast and enjoyable. I went
Yeah,
back and
just
did
not as many kills solo.
yeah, I went back and did like I think like 100 KC or something like that.
I did like 15. So
Yeah, so overall it was pretty fun, and I'd recommend it if you are just getting into bossing. There's not too many requirements there, so
yeah, and hopefully we'll start putting out at least one video other than the podcast every week.
yeah, I think we say that every week, but
Last week we did.
yeah,
and
but we'll keep trying to do
That's
that.
why I started the Majorina one today, because I think we were setting the bar too high for ourselves, and then being like, well, we're never gonna be able to do a video every day, so why bother doing any videos at all? And
Yeah.
let's just set it at one video, and then maybe we'll get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I still have a video for you to edit too, but it's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
take a long time because it was my fight caves.
Oh,
That
yeah,
one's
the
gonna
fight
be
caves. It took
awful.
Quite a few tries for you to do the fight caves.
It's gonna be really funny when you all watch it though.
Yeah. So I guess that's gonna be it for our updates. Now we can move on to the actual update for the game.
All
Um,
right.
yeah, it just happened, just rolled out this morning. So August 4th is going to be today's date. Obviously, you'll be listening to this a
Yesterday.
little bit later. But right now, we're going to be talking about the new client features, the Milestone 2 updates. So if you recall, Milestone 1 updates had a few changes for the base game and the base client that just was overall some quality of life improvements and stuff like that. And
Making it more like
so
RuneLight.
exactly, much more like RuneLight. They're again, they if you don't know, they are in works with the creators of RuneLight. So a
I
lot of
think
this
that's
stuff
cool.
is going to be directly transferable. So if you are familiar with RuneLight, then a lot of the stuff you already have access to. But this is strictly for the Steam client
Hmm.
currently as it stands, but they are rolling it out soon after on mobile, hopefully,
That's good.
and then eventually, of course, to the base desktop client. But so for now, they came out with a few things. The first one is going to be agility helpers. If anyone has ever done rooftops, you know exactly what this looks like if you have used RuneLight. It essentially
Man,
just
that's just
gives you,
another thing I totally didn't realize
yeah,
wasn't always there.
yeah, exactly. If you don't use RuneLight, usually you just if
Hover
yeah,
around
yeah,
till
just
you
like
see where to
you just
click.
like get a familiar area on where to click. You usually just click next to the steps that are on the rooftop. But what RuneLight does, and as well as the new client does, is it shows a large green highlighter around the area that you're supposed to click on in order to proceed to the next part of the rooftop. On top of that, it'll also let you know anytime there are marks of grace on the rooftop by either marking the large green area as red and also marking the actual mark of grace as red. So it's a lot more noticeable.
Yeah,
So that's just one little nice thing. If you do rooftops like me, I think I've done rooftops pretty much the whole entire time.
you certainly have.
So yeah, that'll make it a little bit more enjoyable, possibly.
Another very similar thing is that they're now going to start highlighting the agility shortcuts with green,
Yeah,
which are
exactly.
super, super handy.
Yeah,
I
very
actually love
helpful.
that. I think that if you don't have the correct skill amount, it's yellow though, right?
Yeah, usually. So like if you go to the one in like Shiloh Village the other day, I think it was yellow for me because I didn't have 77 agility. But now that I have 77 agility, the little stepping stone is green. So that's just one really good example.
Yeah, super convenient.
Yeah, exactly. And they also increased the draw distance, so they're gonna make it so that you can see much more of the world without having to load it chunk by chunk. Essentially, making it so the chunk that you do load, as far as visually,
Wow.
is much larger than previously. So they actually, of course, we're gonna have all these notes down in the description if you want to read them all. But they have a really good example picture there, so it pretty much shows that you're limited to in the first picture just like Lumbridge, when you spawn in, it pretty much only shows you the castle. But with the new improved maximum draw distance, you can put it all the way up and max it all the way out, which allows you to see all the way to the forge from Lumbridge when you spawn in.
That
So,
is so cool. I've never seen a view of it like this. I don't even think I have this.
yeah, I don't think you have this. I have this
Oh, you
on
do?
yeah, so I can like click really, really far away,
That's
and
so handy.
yeah, it's really nice to see
I'm
what's
definitely
coming
gonna
up.
turn this on later.
Yeah, I'd recommend it, but it does, of course, if you are playing this on like mobile or something like that, I don't know, like obviously test the limits of your processing power on
For
whatever you're
sure.
using because this does use up quite a bit more memory and stuff like that. So make sure to test that out.
Hmm.
The next thing that I've actually never used personally or even thought of using was the minimap improvements rather. So now
Oh,
you can zoom in or zoom out your minimap. Pretty handy, I guess,
what?
if you want to like get a better look at what your surroundings are. You can just hover over your minimap and scroll, and it'll zoom it in.
That is gonna be so handy for. I mean, oh, you can only zoom in, not out a bunch.
I don't know. I think you can do both.
I was gonna say it'd be great for the wilderness, so you can like really watch out for those white dots and log out real
Oh yeah,
quick.
I'm not
You
sure.
probably can't get an extended amount back though.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on that. And also, this also allows you to resize your mini map. So if you want it to be very large, if you are really worried about getting PK'd, for example, then you can do that. Or if it's just in the way, you can make it as small as your health globe. So it can actually
Oh
be
my gosh.
very, very small. So overall, I think that's, kind of a nice quality of life. I won't be using it personally, but it is, obviously really nice to have if you do
Yeah.
use it. The next thing that I think is actually really big importance is tile indicators. So they're going to be bringing 3 new types of tile indicators, which can be found in the new activities section of the settings menu. You now have indicators for your current position, your destination tile, and any tiles you mouse over. So I think this is extremely helpful. It kind of goes along with ground markers from
Hmm.
the last milestone update. I think this is incredibly important because of things such as Vorkath. So
Oh.
whenever you're fighting Vorkath, he launches his missiles at whatever your position was. So you want to be walking the entire time. But if you don't know, in this game, your character, if you're walking, is actually a few steps ahead of
Yeah, there's a
where they
delay in
see.
what you see.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're moving left to right, then your character will actually be like 2 to 3 tiles further to the right than you actually think. Like that's their true position.
And it's so important to know that for Warcath, especially the acid one.
Yeah, for acid walking, if you're doing Wooks walking or anything like that, it's practically impossible to do unless you know the fact that your character isn't where they visually are on your screen and just
Yeah.
slightly ahead.
Okay, I'm so paranoid about it. Whenever I'm walking back and forth, I'm like 5 tiles away from the acid, and I'm like, I'm probably about to be on top of it, and I click
Yeah,
the other direction.
exactly. So if you ever do anything that is that has to be tick perfect, or if you're doing anything that relies on being nearly tick perfect, then I think this is highly valuable. I use this
Hmm.
and I always have, at least for like the last year, because I think it's really lended itself to understanding the movement in this game. Because like I said, if you think your character is where they aren't, then that can be really bad in some situations.
Especially bossing.
Yeah, so if you are looking to get a little more into like higher end game content, I would highly recommend checking out this tile indicator add-on, and maybe just turn on the one that shows where your current position is.
Hmm.
And I think that'll be enough to get you started out and on the right path to, I guess like more tick or important content.
Yeah, I personally don't have it on, but I do know that I'm not. Not all is as it seems
Yeah,
in
exactly.
RuneScape.
So like
I'd probably be able to do the Wooks walking and stuff if I actually knew.
yeah, maybe.
But
There are
yeah.
other cues, so you don't need to have it on. For instance, like if you are Wooks walking, usually as soon as your character turns, you have already moved a tile. So that's a really good thing to know. So as soon as your character turns to attack Vorkath, for example, you can click away and they'll start their entire walking animation. So
Weird.
yeah, it's quite a bit faster than you would think, considering your character doesn't move for a little
Yeah,
while.
maybe they should just make it so our characters actually move correctly.
Yeah. But the next thing that's pretty cool is going to be a couple of buff indicators. So by that, they also have ammo indicators. So if you are using a blowpipe and have bolts equipped, for example, that's their
Mhm.
example here, then it'll show on your screen a small little rectangle with how many darts you have in your blowpipe. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, if you're using a blowpipe, you don't need the runes or the runite bolts that you have
Mhm.
equipped. So it shows you how many darts you have. But then once you unequip the blowpipe, it'll show you now how many bolts you have equipped.
And
So,
this image that they showed, I was just staring at the entire time for so long, being like, what even is different in these images?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
It's very small on the left side.
Yeah, it's
in
a
little
very
green
small
box.
icon on the left side. I'm hoping you can resize it because that is kind of small.
It is tiny. I mean, if you know where it is, it's fine. But for me, it felt like one of those pictures where they're like, what's the difference? And I'm
Yeah.
like, there isn't a difference.
I think it is pretty nice to have. I've actually never I use it for of course like my bolts and stuff like that. It's always
Same,
nice to
yeah.
have knowing how many bolts you have without swapping to your equipment panel. But something that I haven't used that I think actually would be pretty helpful is it shows how many darts are in your blowpipe. Because
Yeah,
usually
I always have to go and check it.
yeah, you have to like right click and check it, which can obviously be a hassle. And of
Yeah.
course, if you run out of ammo in the middle of a fight, that can be deadly. So yeah, I think that's pretty nice. And of course, I think it's toggleable. So if it's just annoying for you and you
Turn
always
it
keep your
off.
ammo topped up for some reason, and then you could just turn it off. Yeah, it's not a big deal. But I think that is pretty helpful in general.
Yeah.
And speaking of stat boosts, they also show stat boost timers will now appear instantly if any boosts are active when logging into the game. And they've also made the text colors for stat boost timers more legible and readable.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Again, this is from the last milestone update. So, if, for example, if you take a super combat, it'll show that your skills are either plus 18 or 102, 105, 110. You know, whatever your skill is after the buff, you can have it either way, whether it show plus 18 or 110.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just a little bit of an addition to that. There's also a few changes to combat achievements.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty much it for the milestone update for now. There are a couple other interface things, but they're not too important.
Yeah.
As far as the combat achievements go now, they made some fixes and made it so that some more achievements are a little easier to get and just work actually correctly because there's a few bugs, but we'll just go over a few of the other things that they changed. So they've adjusted some of the task difficulty tiers. So they made it so that the sleep tight achievement has been moved from master to elite, as well as the nightmare solo speed trialist moved from elite to master tier. So just a couple of moving arounds there. And also, I think last week we talked about them potentially knocking down how many kill count you're going to need for a few things, and they went ahead and actually did that this week.
That explains so much, because whenever we started this, I randomly clicked on combat achievements, and I got a notification saying you've completed 2 tasks, and I was like, what's it talking about? It was the Briafita and Obor.
Yeah,
because they got lowered from 10 kills to 5.
Yeah, it got cut in half. So
which makes sense, because they're like kind of annoying to get those keys.
Yeah, exactly. Again, also, if you didn't listen last week, they did go through and they made it so Alchemical Hydra has been cut in half from 500 to 250 kills for Master. Same thing with Corrupted Gauntlet from 200 to 150 for Grandmaster. And of course, for regular Gauntlet, there's a few other ones in there: Venenatis, Vedion, Cerberus. All those total kill counts you're going to need have been lowered slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Also going to be going over the Theater of Blood Pull 75 changes. I read this earlier and I don't know what this means, but I'll let you know in case it actually matters to you. It says a filter has been added to the Theater of Blood party board to help you find your friends and clanmates. Of course, I know what that means, but it also says...
to help you find their friends.
Who's friends? So other people in your group's friends and clanmates.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. And it also says that players can now use Verzik's crystal shards on their party members to activate them, allowing you to teleport them out of the raid in an instant. Oh, I think that's for hardcore. So to enable this, right-click a crystal and select toggle. Both players must have a crystal for this to work, and both crystals will be consumed in the process. Hopefully that's as clear and transparent precious mineral. Hopefully that's as clear as a transparent precious mineral. There we go.
The way you said that, I was like, what is happening?
I was like, wait, why did they add this at the end? What are they talking about? There's precious minerals in the Theater of Blood?
There's new minerals?
Yeah. But no, I think that's just to help with hardcores. So like
someone could teleport you out to save you if you're hardcore.
If like someone realizes you're about to get like one shot or something or stacked out, then they can just like teleport you out of the instance.
If someone's rude, they could just prank you, teleport you out of the instance.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I mean, that seems kind of useful, but I feel like I don't know who's going to use that, but maybe someone will.
I love that new pin.
Yeah, that's going to be about it. And they have a little bit new merch. I think the new pin Michelle is hyping up is Baba Yaga's house is now a pin.
Exactly.
So if you are interested in that, they also have the Lunar Me as a pin, and they have a couple new keychains. So pretty cool stuff. That's going to be about it for the patch notes this week, but that's not all we have to go over.
Certainly not.
Yeah, we actually have a ton to go over from, like I said, last Saturday. They did have about a 2-hour stream. I watched, I didn't watch it live, I actually missed it, but I went back and caught pretty much all of it, or all of the really good parts, at least.
And I just found out from him and Reddit.
Yeah, so I'm going to be going over a too long didn't watch version of this over on Reddit, just to sum it all up, because I don't want to try to personally sum up 2 hours of a live stream.
Oh, no, please don't.
So shouts out to Ialat over on Reddit for summing this up. So yeah, essentially, if you haven't heard, or like I said, missed out on Saturday's announcements, there was the Summer Summit, which is in lieu of the RuneFest live event, because of course there is not very many live events going on right now. So
they had pandemic.
Yeah, so they had a virtual 2-hour live stream where they showed everyone what's going to be going on in RuneScape for the next 6 months, or at least what you can be expecting.
Awesome.
So I'm going to be listing a few things that they went over, but this is not all that they're going to do. They did say they're going to continue to do some more milestones, some more regular updates, some more like changing around
So
of
these are just like the big boy updates.
exactly, like these are the much more notable things, but they are going to be doing more regular updates as well. So
Yay!
this isn't going to be all encompassing essentially.
Awesome.
So one thing they went over is they talked about the Premier Club. So it's going to be the best deal on a 12-month membership for essentially ever. So if you want to buy your membership, now is a pretty good time to do it. But besides that, they actually announced three huge announcements. A couple I think we already knew, but one actually kind of took me by surprise. So the first one
Okay.
that they announced was Deadman mode coming back. It's called Deadman Reborn. If anyone doesn't know what that was, they had Deadman for a little while back, and it's essentially a few worlds where everything is PvP, essentially.
Terrifying.
Yeah, but they are going to be setting it up so it's a little more player friendly this time around. Last time it was just everyone could essentially kill everyone, and all across Gilnor there was nowhere safe, and there was a lot of areas that were like kind of locked off.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's a lot less areas that are locked off, and essentially what happens is you are put into brackets based on your combat. So if you are lower
Interesting.
combat between I think 1 and 35, you'll be on your own world. 36 and 70 you'll be on a different world, and 70 to 100 you'll be on a different world, and then 100 to 126 you'll be in a different world as well. So if you have a
Okay.
126, you can't just come over and spec out like a level 5 and
Oh,
just get all
that's
the loot.
nice. I like that.
Yeah, so it's pretty nice. Also, you're gonna have increased experience, of course, on all these worlds. So I think it goes up per level bracket as well. So it might be a good strategy to get up your combat bracket as high as possible, and then go do your skilling and quests and stuff like that. Because it actually is going to be, if you are taking this like more seriously, important that you get up your skills, because there's going to be an actual competition that this is based around. So it's going to be based around, I think they said your highest skill total. So
Oh.
you're actually going to have to do skills and stuff like that in order to participate in I think there's like a round robin event of, I think it's 2048 people.
Oh my
They're going to
gosh.
grab the highest skill people out of everyone that participated up to I think 2048, and then you'll have a like essentially a death match, and whoever wins actually gets
A battle
a
royale.
large amount of money, like real money, like $20,000 real money.
Wait.
Yeah.
Suddenly interested
Yeah,
in
so
this.
I think the top 3 prizes is like a $32,000 prize pool, and then I think 5 through 16 get like a year membership or something like that. So if you are really interested in PvP, or maybe not, and you just want to try
Or
out
money
PvP,
like me.
yeah, yeah. If you are interested in PvP or just want to try it out in a no risk way, essentially, then you can go and head over to Deadman Reborn, which is going to be coming out on August 25th. So just a few weeks away.
We should do it.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
could
I'm gonna
use
be.
the money.
Nah, I don't think I'm definitely not good enough to actually be in the money, but
No, we will just go hide out.
yeah, I'm sure that'll work. But yeah, I'm gonna be trying that out just as a good way to kind of, in pretty much a no risk situation. Like,
You're not risking your main.
yeah, you're not risking your money, your main, anything like
Just
that.
think of it as a temporary account, and then it won't be as stressful, probably.
Yeah, exactly. So it's nothing to like stress out about. It's just go in, maybe test out some switches and stuff like that. Maybe learn how to PvP, and yeah, you can try it out. The way it's gonna work though is you have 3 lives essentially. So the first 2 lives you won't lose anything, but the third life you will lose literally everything, all of your combat skills, all of your bank, except for you'll only lose 10% of your XP from all of your other non-combat skills.
Okay, good. So
So
you could
yeah,
still have some skills.
yeah, exactly. So you'll still have all the skills that aren't PvP related, but if you're 126 and you
And
get
then you're just level 3?
yeah, you get killed 3 times, then you'll go back to level 3, and this includes PVM. So if you die to bandos 3 times, you'll be reset to level 3. So it can be pretty
My goal
tough.
is to stay in one of the safe areas and just work on regular skills and just hope that I could get that up high enough to get that 20K.
Yeah.
Secure the bag, bro.
So there's also something to make it even more interesting. If you're familiar with leagues from days past, then they are going to be adding a sigils-like system in the way of relics in leagues. So essentially, this is going to give you very powerful capabilities that are normally not available to you. Some, for instance, they only showed off 3 that they're going to be potentially adding, which is like essentially giving you unlimited run. Like essentially you'll be under
Oh.
the effects of a stamina potion at all times.
Oh my gosh.
There's going to be other stuff that's going to make it easier, but it'll be they'll be stronger as you level up.
Yes.
So potentially like really meta changing stuff that you're going to have access to if you are able to get the correct sigils.
Oh my gosh.
And as far as I know, the sigils are going to drop from enemies and be sellable and purchasable on the Grand Exchange. So if you want, you can just get a ton of money, get some really good
Just
gear.
get lucky.
Maybe get a bunch of ACBs, sell them on the GE, and then you'll be able to buy yourself some really end game sigils.
Some ABCD, sell them on GE.
Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty cool. Also, if you don't know the way Deadman works, whenever you kill someone, you get a key, which gives you access to the 10 most expensive items in their bank, not including their lockbox. So, of course, there's a ton more to go over on the rules and stuff like that. So I'd recommend checking it out over on OSRS.
As it gets closer to, we'll definitely really get into it, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll probably go over the rules and maybe more interesting stuff like that later on as it gets closer. But just know that it is coming up. If you're interested at all in PvP, even just to try it out for a day, then this might be a really good opportunity for you.
It's I know I'm not that good, but 20,000 is such a life-changing amount of money. Oh my god, we'd move to the Netherlands, we'd get a dog.
All right.
Those are the 2 things I want to do.
All right, let's focus on more important things such as Group Iron Man. So that's the next thing that they talked about. Group Iron Man, of course, this is something we all knew was coming, and this is going to be happening to around the mid-fall part of the year. They didn't give an exact date or anything like that.
Early to mid, they said.
Yeah, they said around early mid-fall, which I'm guessing to be around mid-September, maybe late September, if I had to guess. So, Group Iron Man, of course, they said they were going to come out with as soon as Clans was done, and Clans has been done for quite a few months. So now just
a few.
Yeah, exactly. So now they've been working on this, and it's going to be out. So I'm actually really excited about this because if you have watched the stream or anything like that, I've talked about doing Iron Man quite a few times. I just didn't know what kind of Iron Man to do.
And now we know.
And now we know. So yeah, both of us are going to be making our own group Iron Man group. So that's going to be pretty cool. Rest in peace. None of you are invited. So
yeah, the way he worded that too, our group is literally just going to be us 2.
Yeah,
you said it almost like we're starting 2 feuding groups.
Yeah.
Which would also not be a bad idea.
Group Iron Man is actually really cool because it's essentially Iron Man, but you can trade just a couple other people, which is nice.
Yes.
So, for instance, you're going to have the groups be from 2 to 5 players, and you'll be allowed to invite players gradually if you really want to.
So if we end up making another friend.
Yeah. So what will happen is you will go to this new tutorial island area called the Node, quote unquote, the Node. And there you can invite people to join your group essentially. So they'll allow you to type to people because weirdly enough, I didn't know this. You can't type on tutorial island. You can't actually type to other players.
I had no idea.
Yeah, me neither. But they're opening that up on the Node so you can actually type and get groups going. So what happens is essentially you have your base group of 2 to 5 players. And if you keep that group, then you'll have some actual notifier saying that your group is an original group, and so they wanted to recognize that as being OG groupers.
Yes.
And so you'll get a little notification for that, and everyone will be like, oh, these people are losers that don't pick up new players. And so
Me and you.
Yeah, me and you. And also if you want though, you can get rid of that OG group status and invite new people to your group at any time. But they have to be from the Node, so they have to be a brand new Iron Man. You can't have 2K plus Iron Man joining your group out of nowhere. It has to be a new Iron Man. and you have to be
Yeah.
on the node.
I feel like that's going to be the most controversial part, is that if you already have an existing Iron Man account, you're not going to be able to make a group.
Yeah, exactly. You'd have to break a brand new Iron Man
I
account.
think that's going to make a lot of people upset.
Yeah, maybe. But I think the people that want Group Iron Man would probably be more
They'd be
down to
okay
start a
with
new one
it.
anyways.
Yeah. Some people just have like some crazy Iron Man accounts, though.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to 420 Casey, sick
Were
Iron
they
Man
an
account.
Iron Man?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Also, so essentially, existing Iron Man players will be able to let guests into their player-owned housings,
Oh, cool.
and existing Iron Mans won't be able to form groups. They need to be a fresh account. Official group finding worlds are going to be set up. They're also going to be able to pick new members at the node if someone leaves. And like I said, there's going to be a prestige status if you have an original group, but you'll lose it if you invite new members or if someone leaves.
Weird.
Yeah, it says if you decide to leave the group, you can keep your status, but you'll lose your tradable items. If you want to keep your items, you must de-iron. So pretty much don't leave your group. There's no point in it.
Okay, we're definitely not letting anyone other than us two in our group.
It says untradables will stay as they are. You won't be able to trade over your fire cape, for example.
Aww.
There's going to be, what's really cool, in my opinion, this is probably one of my favorite parts, is they're going to be both a private and a shared bank. So, for instance, if you farm like 20,000 logs, you can put that in the shared bank and people can use it at their will. If you don't need them all, of course.
But if we're feeling a little greedy and don't want to share supplies,
then you have your own bank, of course.
Exactly.
And it says that you will not be able to enter instanced solo fights, so there's not going to be any duo Zulra or duo fight caves. Those are meant to be done.
that would have been great.
Yeah, those are meant to be done as solo encounters, so they will stay as such.
Let us do it, cowards.
And it says, lastly, you will be able to do TOB and Chambers of Zarek with players outside of your group. So it's just same as it is now.
Okay, awesome.
Because they felt that it was really limiting to have like groups of 2 be able to do like TOB, because
100%.
it's a pain in the ass with a group of 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll still be able to do those with your friends.
Good.
So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty hyped up about it. Like I said, I've been really looking forward to making an Iron Man, so it's going to be pretty interesting. I think it's going to be...
Now we get to do it together.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really nice, because I think my plan right now is to do those thousands of KC and just have my Iron Man like essentially like AFK skilling in the background.
Yeah.
So like wood cutting and just fire making all day. So
yeah.
I'll probably have those at 99 pretty soon.
Maybe we'll get that best deal in the 12-month membership for Iron Mans if we really like them.
Yeah, maybe. Apparently it saves you like quite a bit of money.
Oh, okay.
But the next thing that they talked about was Leagues 3. So Leagues 3 is going to be at the end of 2021, so expected around Christmas if I had to guess. Okay. And this time is pretty cool because, of course, they've had Twisted League and they had Trailblazer in the last one, and this one is going to be a little bit different as well. And what's cool is before you had to unlock different parts of the map, but you couldn't unlock the entire map.
Mm-hmm.
What's nice is that this time around, you'll be able to unlock the entirety of the map.
That's nice.
So you can go anywhere, including Zaya, which before was pretty much off limits.
Oh.
And so last time there was relics, and they essentially turned them into a bunch of fragments and shattered them across the entire world. So each of them are going to have small portions of power. So essentially, they'll have one small base effect. But if you combine them with like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the same or similar shard, then you'll get like set effects.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like barrows, where like it's not that good if you use them by themselves, but if you use them all together, they give you a really nice set bonus. So that's essentially how they describe them working.
Okay, cool.
So one thing that is pretty interesting that they are doing this time around is they're actually locking your skills at level 3.
What?
And you'll be able to unlock them at an individual cost for like points, essentially.
That's so weird.
So like your agility might be locked or something like that, so you'll have to pay whatever points you get. And the points you get are like based on like achievements. So like chopping wood will get you like an achievement. So it's not that hard to get achievement points and stuff like that, but you will have to pay for a lot of things this time around, including skills as well as bosses. So if you really want like Bandos gear early on, you're gonna have to pay for Bandos. You're gonna have to pay a hefty sum, I'm pretty sure, to unlock the ability to even fight Bandos. So that's gonna be pretty important. Also, it's gonna have it's definitely pretty interesting. So there's gonna be 6 weeks in length. So It's not going to be a ton of time, but I think it's a good amount of time. I think people kind of
Yeah, a
get
month
burnt
and a
out.
half.
Yeah, people kind of get burnt out after a month, so I think that's a pretty good amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be enough time to unlock every skill and boss. Also, fragments do not take up inventory space, and they'll be an entirely separate interface, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, that's cool.
They're making pet rates the same as the main game. Of course, they
I don't
don't.
even want a pet in it.
Yeah,
It
they
would
don't.
just annoy
They
me.
don't cross over, and you're gonna have 5 times the XP rate. So,
God.
yeah, you're gonna have plenty of skills leveled up by the end of this if you do end up playing it. And the first 3 skills are pre-selected, so there's no picking and choosing. You're just gonna have to go with whatever they have unlocked for you immediately.
Okay, cool.
And there's no auto-completed quests, so you're gonna have to go do that all by yourself.
Yikes.
The rewards this time around are going to include a TP animation, some Relic Hunter outfits, recolors for a different non-graceful skilling outfit. So that's potentially cool.
Ooh.
Maybe the first of its kind. So if you are interested in getting those without spending a ton of gold, then
I know
maybe you're
that part
gonna
sounds cool.
maybe you're gonna want to participate this time around. 'Cause you can just,
Participate enough to get the recolor and then stop participating.
yeah, because if you don't know how the like ranking system works, you get like bronze all the way up to dragon, I think it is,
Wow.
ranking based on your like skill total, or your not your skill total, but your points unlocked.
Mhm.
So if you have a ton of points unlocked, then you'll get a ton of points to spend on these really cool rewards at the end of the season.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. They're also, again, they actually went over a few other things that they're going to be going over for the rest of the year that aren't huge,
Little
such
baby
as
ones.
the wilderness improvements and the wildy boss rework, which are potentially huge updates
Oh.
that are
So
also
not baby
happening.
updates.
Yeah, it's like baby in compared to these things, but also
but overall, actually big deals.
yeah, also the wilderness update's a huge deal. Wildy Boss reworks huge. Another content pool 76 update is going to be a really big poll, so that's going to be coming out. Of course, the official game client improvements are going to be rolling out just like this week. Gold and item syncs are going to be looked at. A lot of people have been talking about adding item syncs to things such as the clan and stuff like that, because of course the inflation in the game is kind of getting out of hand. And as usual, there's going to be
The
Halloween
economy.
and Christmas events.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, so you can look forward to that, get all your really cool Fashionscape stuff. So the last thing to cover is
The biggest deal.
yeah, kind of a bombshell. I didn't think that they were gonna announce this so early on, and I think if I'm being honest, they were a little optimistic with the release date, but we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So Raids 3, Tombs of
Woo!
Amaskut. So this is gonna be Raids 3 in the desert area.
Where everyone theorized it would be. So it's kind of
Exactly.
funny.
So there's going to be teams of up to 8. So anywhere from 1 to 8 players can do this content.
Okay.
They're looking at a difficulty that is a little bit less than TOB. So obviously TOB is pretty difficult, so it's not going to be up there. There are going to be ways to make it more difficult though.
Okay.
So it's going to be 4 upper level challenges that unlock the lower levels, which is going to be the first ever twin main boss.
Whoa.
So there's going to be 2 bosses in the last room, and you're going to have to fight both of them at the same
Oh
time.
my gosh.
The upper challenge is split into 2 parts. So you're going to have the path and the boss. Completing one will change the rest of the raid. So you're going to be able to like select your path and what you're doing first. And also there's going to be this new system called Invocations. So if you want to make the raid a little bit more challenging, maybe they'll place buffs and debuffs on you or on the raid itself,
Mhm.
making it more or less difficult, but awarding more or less points for each encounter. So you can make it, like I said, obviously more and less difficult, which is nice because you can have like lower level players or less people go in there and still be successful to some degree.
Yeah.
But of course, maybe the best way to get points per hour might be having a ton of them turned on. So we'll have to wait and see.
I'm excited.
They also did tease a few new items. So there's going to be a new potentially best in slot wand with a variable attack speed. So it's actually a really weird, interesting concept. So it's going to have a 2-tick attack speed similar to the blowpipe
Mhm.
for the first 3 attacks. But then the 4th attack is going to be a very strong slow attack. And they say as it goes now, it's actually going to be like, it's going to stop. So you can essentially attack 3 times, switch your weapon, and then come back if you want to do like a finishing blow with the strong 4th attack. You can actually do that.
Cool.
And yeah, it's pretty interesting. There's also going to be a new armor set that is
Oh my gosh.
going to only work when on low health. So
Oh.
similar to Darox, but not quite as crazy. It's a new ranged armor set, and it's gonna comprise of a few different pieces of equipment, including a necklace that drains your health constantly down to 40% health.
That could be handy
And
for the nightmare zone to just bloop.
yeah, maybe. But once you are at 40% health, it will not take your health anymore, and that's at 40% health is when your set effect is actually going to activate.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, there's no word on what the actual set effect is, but it'll only work when you are on low health.
Yeah, they're probably still getting figured out.
Yeah, and then there's going to be a new best in slot mage offhand. So the mage, it's also going to add mage strength bonus, which has never
Oh.
been in the game before.
Wow.
But it's going to be a combination of an arcane sigil as well as the new item. And they said if you already have an arcane sigil built, you can rip it off of your spirit shield, destroying the spirit shield, but then you can now use it to re-equip to make the new best in slot
That is
offhand.
so funny.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty interesting. Also, there's going to be a new quest, of course, leading up to the raid called
Yes.
Beneath Cursed Sands. I think Mod Arcane said it's going to be fairly easy. I didn't think there was there's no requirements over level 70. I think
It's not going to be like Theater of Blood where you actually have to do the raids.
no, it's going to be very like low level quests as far as I understand, like maybe level 60 and level 50, and there's going to be
Okay.
a couple bosses, but nothing to really notable
Nothing
as far as
nutty.
I understand. So yeah, it does aim to be a lot more accessible, which is nice because
I like
obviously TOB is really high end content. Essentially, most people, unless you know someone, won't take you unless you're like 99 all with some decent gear at least.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a lot less intimidating, it seems, but some potentially
sure.
really nice rewards. So I also am interested to see the bosses and the invocation system.
I am excited to see these twin bosses.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. Of course, neither of us are into bossing or into raiding yet, but I think this one might be a little bit more in our reach than TOB.
Because it doesn't seem like it's going to be in-game content. It's just going to be like later game content.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we can handle.
Yeah.
And also the release date's not till the start of 2022.
Yeah,
so we got time.
That's what I was going to go over because it says it's going to be at the start of 2022. But I mean, if I want to be optimistic, but if I'm being like realistic, I don't want to be a pessimist, but if I'm being realistic, I think it would be like probably closer to this time next year if I had to guess.
Oh, you think so? Like a full year?
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like Mod Arcane did have a few really good ideas, but he was saying that it was more of like an idea phase, not like they had a lot of like, playable stuff or like really fleshed out designs and stuff like that.
Why did they make this a 6-month timeline and then be like, psych?
I don't know. Maybe not a full year, but I think like
you think
maybe,
it won't be early 2022?
I think it might be like March. Or something like that.
That's still kind of early, but yeah, it's in
that's
it's in
not
a while.
That's not January or February, but that's I think a little bit further into the year than what
they want.
They said as the start of 2022. I think most people think as the start as in January, February. I think it'll be either 1 or 2 months after, if I had to guess.
All right, I could see that.
But obviously, I'd like to be proven wrong. That'd be pretty sweet. And again, they're going to be having another summer summit in 6 months from now. Of course, depending on how well this goes. And hopefully they'll have another one so they can update us again.
Yeah, hopefully we can have the raids by then.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of talking, but I will leave links to the live stream down in the comment section below if you're watching this on YouTube. So you can go check out the full live stream if you missed it and want to see all the shenanigans they went through on the actual live stream. It was pretty funny. They had some really good times over there. Of course,
cool.
Not very common you get to see all the mods get together. So it was a pretty cool live stream, and I'd recommend checking it out if you are interested.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, so that's going to be about it for the notes, but we did have a question from someone on stream, so what was it?
So the question is, if Jagex was going to make a movie based on an OSRS quest, which one would you want to see a movie of?
Yeah.
Which I love this question, all of them.
Yeah, it's a pretty good question. Shout out to I Will Train, or I Won't Train. And,
I will train.
And yeah, I think mine was kind of like a easy answer. I just went with DS2. So I think that's just
basic, easy.
Yeah,
Come
it's
on,
just
get
I think
creative.
it would be. I think it's one of the most well-told stories and one of the most well-fleshed out stories. So I think it'd be really cool to see like all the dragon fights as well. And yeah, overall, that's going to be my pick probably. What about you?
I'm not totally sure because, like I said, I actually would want every single one to be one, but I think that the new Night at the Theater one would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
They'd have to like reorganize it a bit, but now that they've redone it, I actually think that story is really, really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was
Especially
really
the
interesting.
end of it. That would have been like a really good plot twist for a movie.
Yeah, no spoilers, but it was definitely a really interesting quest and much more well done than the previous version.
Oh my god, 100%.
I didn't really mind the previous version because like I don't really care too much about the story, but it
Yeah.
was a really good and well told story this time around.
Oh yeah. Another good one that would be a saga, like Lord of the Rings style, would be Recipe for Disaster with all the parts.
Yeah, potentially.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I just want to see all of them into movies now. I'm scrolling through my quest list right now, and I'm like, and this one would be good, and this one would be good. Like literally every single one I scroll past.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, I just want to see them all turned into movies.
Yeah, let us know what you think would be a good RuneScape movie if
Hit
they had
us
to come
up
out with
if
one.
you're a movie producer. If you have money, we have some ideas.
Yeah, that's all. I'll sell you the idea for $10. Shout out to me. That's gonna be about it for this week, though. Do you have anything coming up this week, Michelle?
I'm just going to be working on making the Mage Arena 2 video, and then probably just doing Slayer bosses.
Just slaying.
Some combat achievements, not really trying to finish it, because that's going to take a while, but
Yeah.
making a dent on it, potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you?
I'm just gonna be doing Corrupted Gauntlet. So
God, that's going to take you so long.
yeah, it's gonna take me a couple days, you know?
Yeah, be sure to stop by our stream. It's twitch.tv/Bunebape. We're always streaming. He's streaming during the day. I stream more in the evening. Hopefully earlier because your girl's been tired.
Yeah. And also feel free to hit us up with any questions or let us know what movie you would like to see RuneScape make.
I'm so
over
interested
on,
in everyone's answers.
Yeah, you can hit us up on Twitter, which is Bunebapeosrs, or any other social media where we're just Bunebape.
Yes. Yeah. YouTube, Instagram, yada yada.
Yeah,
You can
everything
find
else.
us everywhere. And hit us up if you have any questions. They don't even have to be serious questions. They could be like this movie one, which was like the most enjoyable question I feel like we've gotten, because in my head I imagine them like so cool.
Yeah. But yeah, overall looking forward to a lot of these updates that's going to be coming out. Really looking forward to Group Iron Man for sure.
Oh yeah.
Kind of interested in Deadman, but probably more interested in Leagues. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Deadman's gonna be my new career if
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
able to win. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed it, and thanks for giving us your time this week.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you all next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.